Temba Mliswa is a former ZANU-PF chairperson. At one point, he was a ZANU-PF chairperson. At one point, he pretended to be out of ZANU-PF, and it came to it that he was used by Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa to go after certain opposition figures. Unfortunately, excuse me, some of those opposition figures have passed away. He lured the opposition to support his independent candidature. And it has come to light that all along he hasn't been independent. And Temba Mliswa is fingered on a number of the death of opposition politicians in Zimbabwe, as well as activists, and also the retired military generals. He is a Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa right-hand man, specifically helping him in the area of intelligence. It has come to light that he played a significant role in facilitating the interest of Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa through also his written submissions, particularly on X. He has all of a sudden came out and openly called for Zimbabweans to support one party state. We've always said it, that it has been the mentality of Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa, or rather ZANU-PF, to run a one-party state and thwart opposition political parties. This is what Mnangagwa has been doing. And at the moment, there is no viable opposition. And Temba Mliswa is simply rubber stamping that. He is also belittling the protest of the 31st of July. Why everyone in Zambia all of a sudden is writing about this protest, I have said it, that they are a great deal. And I am one of the citizens who is supporting the protest. Zimbabweans should stand in their numbers, be strategic, don't relent, don't actually back down. This is your struggle. It is in your hands to get rid of this regime that wants to close your participation in all facets of political life. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Farming Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we film live, you become the very first one to watch us. Let's look at what Temba Mliswa wrote. He says, rather than organizing a demonstration, we should organize a celebration for Camp 3. In simple terms, he is saying people should celebrate the manipulation of the Constitution. People should celebrate the manipulative tactics of a demagogue, that is Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa. We know that CA3 is a case. It's something that should not have politically took place in Zimbabwe, and it's something that should not be celebrated or tolerated. It can only be celebrated by bootlickers like Temba Mliswa. We have been benefiting through this process, having been paid millions of US dollars to speak in such a manner. You should understand that most of these people in ZANU-PF who are working on undermining your rights as citizens, they do so because they have been paid. So you say should celebrate for Camp 3, which has set the stage for a government-oriented toward development. Zimbabweans are not even inclined towards these demos, as has been seen lately. None has been successful. In simple terms, it's trying to accept what I have said, that under Emerson Dambuzo Mnangagwa regime, he has made sure that he closes the democratic space
know for how long. Okay, thank you very much. I don't know for how long, but now I'm sure there is sound, so it means my microphone was not fully charged. I was saying they are speaking against protest because they understand that protests are a big deal, and that is why they are speaking against them. So he says, I think, let me just take it from the top because I don't know when exactly this thing switched off. It says, Temba Mliswa says, rather than organizing a demonstration, we should organize a celebration for Constitution Act 3, which has set the stage for a government oriented towards development. There is absolutely nothing like that. That is hogwash. He goes on to say Zimbabweans are not even inclined towards these demos, as has been seen lately. None has been successful. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. He goes on to say the notion by a few errant souls given money. There is no one given money. You cannot be given money to fight for the freedom of your land. You cannot be pushed by money. That demonstrations catalyze meaningful change. It's not only misguided, but also perilous. Our political landscape has been compromised by these elements whose political existence hinges on the destabilization of our nation. They know that the nation of demagogue, this nation of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa dictatorship could really be destabilized by a protest. Protest can stop the looting. Protest can stop Constitutional Act number 3. That is why Zimbabweans should continue to fight. The Temba Mliswa goes on to say their political survival is intricately linked to a climate of perpetual unrest. His political survival is actually bootlicking a demagogue and defending a demagogue, the posture that he is currently taking at the moment. He goes on to say the machinery of their populist agenda requires an unyielding influx of public indignation remain operational, compelling them to organize demonstrations. It's just hogwash. He says they resist granting the government even a momentary reprieve in this political engagement, during which nascent yet viable policies could take root. Instead, they perpetuate an atmosphere of immediate to acknowledge the necessary interlude that exists between the conception of a policy and its execution. Only a few are given money and seek to destabilize the whole nation by calling for demos. I have always said whoever wants to demonstrate should come to the ground personally and we will join them. They won't. Otherwise, we should work towards a one party state. You're getting the sense? If you are not demonstrating, if you won't stop ZANU-PF, ZANU-PF is going towards building a one-party state that would be under the Mnangagwa monarchy, having stolen the Mono-Mutapa dynasty title. And it says, otherwise, we should work towards a one-party state and development because so far the multi-party democracy thing has failed to produce anything. It's a high-sounding theory which has failed to benefit the country on the ground. Kungoita ruja, but pasina chiri kubuda. It says China through its whole process, people's democracy. I've always told you that Zimbabwe is following the footsteps of countries like China, Russia. They want that. That is what ZANU-PF is following. That is why they will tell you of looking east. It says which only the Communist Party of China, CPC, as the sole political party is growing. It has managed to develop itself into a very modern state. Alternative parties that exist operate as participating parties, cooperating with the CPC to build the country. There is one party state in China. If you open an opposition, they will accuse you of corruption and hang you. That is what is happening. That is why there is no opposition. The law does not permit that. Anyone who actually rise up against she, that person would be targeted. They will actually they will falsely accuse you of corruption and hang you. They hang you if you actually, this is what ZANU-PF wants to do. He says the ruling ZANU-PF should in fact incorporate progressive members of the opposition so that we unite towards one objective. We all want development. So eventually these CCC members of parliament who voted for this illegal constitutional act, they're going to be incorporated to ZANU-PF. That is what Temba Mliswa is trying to share with us. Not that the people of Zimbabwe are interested in that. No, they sold their souls. They did something that ZANU-PF will definitely pay them for, and they will pay by officializing their membership to ZANU-PF. That is what will happen in simple terms, and that is what Temba Mliswa is trying to show you. He says people spoke through parliament. How can people speak through parliament? Who are the parliamentarians? People cannot speak through parliament. People have to speak through a referendum. And he says their views were incorporated into law. It's not the views of the people, it's the views of parliamentarian Professor Jonathan Moyo, Ziambi, as well as Mapiza and Emerson Tambuzo Mnangagwa. And he says, let's give room for government to work, not to Kutakungoita Rusha. This is helpful. Don't expect the enemy to tell you what works. You see a lot of panicking when you see the enemy actually opposing what you are doing. It means you are doing the right thing. If you see ZANU-PF, look at how ZANU-PF is standing up against these demonstrations. It shows that this is the right thing, and the people of Zimbabwe should not disappoint. Let's come together as one. We need to defeat a political party of poverty. We need to defeat people who have taken us for a ride. We need to get rid of this nonsense called Emerson Tambuzo, this nonsense called Zikananda, this nonsense called ZANU-PF. We need to create a country that works for all, a country that will actually bring in the necessary and the much needed development, a country that will improve our health sector, a health sector that will respond to all the citizens of the land, not what is going on at the moment. I can attest to you, 31st of July demos give ZANU-PF a headache. They are stressed. That is why they are hunting down for everyone who is supporting this, who is a political activist. Let's protect that gentleman. He deserves to be protected. Let's continue also praying for Begimpilo Mbezi. These idiots, they want to make examples with these two. We should not, it should never be business as usual if the government goes after, I mean, they have already gone after these two on the 31st of July. And even before the 31st of July, it should not be business as usual. Let's demonstrate that we are people who can think, we are people who are proactive. These people that are giving us problems, they cannot run. If someone runs about 5 steps, they will cough and most probably collapse. Mnangagwa, do you think he can run? He cannot run. These are people who cannot even kick, you cannot even bend. These are people who are giving us problems. Whilst we have energetic youths that can march, youths that can take their destiny to their hands. Let's rise to that fact. Forward with the 31st of July demos. And down with everybody who is trying to discourage people. If we are tired of fighting ZANU-PF, stand aside. Let us continue the fight. The fight will never stop until victory. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the